You got to pick one, and you can't say Patrick.
Jalen Hurts.
Nice. Hey. What would that look like?
Hold it real quick. If you went to Philly, I would pick you to be the offensive rookie of the year. Okay? If you
steal of the first round if they take Bijan Robinson at number 10 overall. Some people might think this is reaching on a running back, but their offense will be the best in the NFL if this happens. They will easily have the best rushing attack. And oh yeah, on the outside, they have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and their tight ends, Dallas Goedert. This team will be absurd on the offensive side of the football. If the Eagles take him, they will not regret it, and he might have a Hall of Fame career in Philadelphia.
At 10. There is no denying this guy's skill. I mean, this guy is an absolute stud, but
The closer we get to the NFL draft, the more and more I want the Philadelphia Eagles to select Texas running back Bijan Robinson with the 10th overall pick. Now, a lot of people will disagree with drafting a running back with the 10th overall pick due to the fact that the Eagles have a lot of other pressing needs this offseason, but I truly think Robinson is worth it. In my NFL draft grading scale, I grade 11 different traits at the running back position. Now, in all 11 of those traits that I grade, Bijan Robinson landed a 10 out of 10 for 3 of them, being his power, his vision, and his contact balance. And usually when I get my final grade for running backs, they don't even touch the first round, but Bijan Robinson's grade entered into the top 10 out of all the prospects I've looked at this year. I could easily go on and on about why Bijan Robinson is a great player and deserves to go top 10, but honestly, everyone else on this app is probably going to say the same thing that I would say, so let's get into why I think the Eagles should draft him. The Eagles were by far the most efficient team when it comes to rushing the football this past NFL season, and a lot of that comes off the backs of Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. And despite being super efficient in the regular season, in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, the Eagles' rush EPA was negative .104. The Eagles' running backs really didn't step up in the big game, and with Miles Sanders off the books this offseason, I think the Eagles should definitely take a look at drafting Bijan Robinson with the 10th overall pick. He'd be an immediate upgrade in Philly from Sanders, but he'd also help extend the longevity of Jalen Hurts. Rushing quarterbacks like Hurts don't have the longest shelf life in the NFL. So having a bona fide bell cow running back like Robinson in the backfield behind Hurts, along with your elite receiving core, would really help Jalen Hurts in the long run. And if Jason Kelce decides to return or retire from the NFL this upcoming offseason, this will probably be the Eagles' best chance to win a Super Bowl for a long time regardless. I've seen a lot of people mock the Eagles a running back like Jahmyr Gibbs late in the first round, but I really don't think Gibbs fits what the Eagles need. They don't need a receiving back. They already have Kenneth Gainwell and an elite receiving core. They need a guy who can protect Hurts and be a good running back aside from that consistently. So if I could handpick one team that I want to see Bijan Robinson on in 2023, that is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Running backs in the first round, unless it's Bijan Robinson. The Texas running back is considered one of the top prospects in this year's NFL draft. He's easily the #1 running back in the class, and probably the best running back prospect since Saquon and Ezekiel Elliott. Bijan possesses very few weaknesses, if any. His main weakness being his position, as historically GMs say you do not draft running backs in the first round. But Bijan will look to break that cycle, and for good reason. With over 1,500 yards, 18 TDs, and becoming the 4th leading rusher in Texas football history, Bijan is a scary mix of speed, power, and elusiveness. But where will he land? His game allows him to slot into any team. He could be the missing piece that takes a Super Bowl hopeful over the top. Just imagine Bijan lined up in the backfield of your favorite team. That dual threat would almost be unfair. He's going to tear it up this year, so who should draft Bijan Robinson?
When you really dive into the Eagles, they don't really have a need. Everybody else that has selected to this point, it's like they've got 5 or 6 needs, to be quite honest. But now the Eagles are sitting there. They're one of the most complete rosters in the entire NFL. So this is a freebie. Like, what a great spot if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, you can make an argument, and I toyed around with this, that this is a great time to trade. And I'm fine with that. If you think that this could be a trade, I'm totally fine with that. However, I love this. Got a big grin on my face. Why not just take the most dynamic player on the board? Why not just take the best offensive skill position player on the board? Pair him up with Jalen Hurts. Just so happens he's a running back. Why not Bijan to the Eagles? I mean, blow everybody's mind. That makes them better. That makes them better. It's not just a depth pick. It's not just a pick looking at, an aging, maybe offensive or defensive line. It's a pick saying we're one of the best teams in the National Football League right now, and this guy makes us better right now. It alleviates some of the pressure on Jalen Hurts because now he has an outlet immediately. There's another dynamic player that has to be defended side to side. You think of that system with some of the RPOs that they run, the creativeness of that offense, and you put a guy like Bijan Robinson on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I am in. This is why I love this pick. It's a totally free pick. Why not take the best player available on the board, Bijan Robinson, to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're immediately better as one of the best teams in the league already.
I think Philadelphia is ready to win right now. They're ready to win. They were, you could say, a play away from winning the Super Bowl last year to my Chiefs. They're going to go get the best guy on the board that can help them offensively. That's this guy right here. Miles Sanders is in Carolina now. Yeah, I know they got Rashad Penny, but Penny hasn't stayed healthy since God knows when. Bijan's a better running back. He's better in every category than Penny. This takes a lot of pressure off Jalen Hurts. It's one of the best offensive lines in the league. So you can imagine what this guy's going to do behind that offensive line. I really like this pick for them. He's going to be scary in fantasy. He's going to be scary in just real life in general on this team. So really good pick here. They go
on, and you can't say factor.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select
running back from Texas, Bijan Robinson. I had to do it. If you're Philly, man, you really can't go wrong. You can pick whoever you want here, and they're going to add to your already stacked team. Just from the past couple years, there's always been a first-round running back. If there's one team to do it, Philly can surely afford to draft maybe the best running back prospect in the last 10 years.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft,
For a unique player, because you can, if you draft by position, but they're a bad player, that's a bad pick. So they're looking for a unique player.
Yeah.
You link that with the quote that came out from the Howie Roseman interview with Bijan at their meeting, where he said, "Why should I take you at 10?" And Bijan said, "Because I'm not a running back, I'm a difference maker." You link those two together,
again, to pick up off of Shucks' point, and I'm going back even further to the combine, to where Howie Roseman said, we're not looking to follow trends, we're looking to set trends. We're looking to be trendsetters. We're not looking to follow what everyone else is doing. We want to be the team that everyone else follows.
I don't want to ignore the fact that Bijan is a blue chip prospect who is a potential generational talent.
Well, and I'll throw another thing at you, too. If you go back to even 2017, you remember how badly the Eagles wanted Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, they tried to get him this year.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, at the trade deadline this past year, they tried to get him.
Exactly. That's the thing people forget, and that's what I mentioned. Even months ago.
He's been looking for this type of style of running back for a while.
Months ago, right? When we were talking about Howie's philosophies and stuff, the one thing that I clung on to was if you look at the 2017 draft, they wanted CMC at 14. They wanted CMC, but CMC was taken early.
Got paid. I think it's a spectacular contract for Jalen Hurts. I think it's a spectacular contract for the Eagles. Now I feel like I can get amped about the draft now that we have Jalen locked down. And Brad, I'm looking at this 10th pick, and I'm all in on the running back out of Texas from Bijan Robinson. I keep hearing that everybody wants him. So is Howie going to actually pick a running back? Look, you have the 10th pick. You're not supposed to have the 10th pick. You damn near won the Super Bowl last year. Okay? You have a great offensive line, and Bijan Robinson is worlds more talented than Miles Sanders. This notion that you don't take a running back in the top 10 or the first round, that's archaic dinosaur thinking. Because the Eagles aren't your prototypical, top 10 team. They're loaded. They have a quarterback. They have a great offensive line. They're strong in the trenches. They have a lot of boxes checked already. And they just have this $500,000 scratch off from the Saints at the 10th overall pick. So what you need to do with your luxury scratch off ticket from the Saints, a gift from the Saints, because they don't seem to know what they're doing down there in New Orleans, is you take a day one starter and you go try and put up 40 points a game in an offensive league. Bijan Robinson can help you do that. Jalen Hurts got paid.
flat out ridiculous and the consensus top running back in the 2023 draft class. Here's what you need to know about him. Robinson was the #1 running back recruit in the high school class of 2020. So he certainly knows how to handle the pressure of being squarely in the spotlight. And at 6 foot and 220 pounds, Robinson is crazy elusive. He forced a missed tackle on 40.4% of his 257 rushes at Texas last season. That's an astronomically high rate, one that would have been better than any qualifying running back in the NFL in 2022. Robinson's also a very reliable and dynamic receiver. During his 3 seasons with the Longhorns, he caught 60 passes with only 4 drops and averaged 13.3 yards per reception. Even in today's NFL, where running back has been devalued in the draft, Robinson's going to go in the first round.
Robinson, Sweep 6 are wide open for the Eagles. And I'm going to have the Eagles taken here at 10. Now, I know he's been mocked a lot to fall, but I really just feel like the Eagles don't have any big holes in their team, and I feel like they can afford to make a luxury pick like that. They have Rashad Penny this offseason. They're a big run-heavy team, but let's be honest, Rashad Penny's not going to play more than 8 games this year, so do they even really have a RB1 this year? I don't think so, and you have a generational top 5 talent in Bijan Robinson here. I feel like it makes sense to take him here at 10.
Up my family, Tom Arnone, HUD Radio. I'm all in for Bijan. Give me some honey, Bijan. And let me tell you why. All right, because the 10th pick is extra. All right, we're not a bad football team. Usually, when you're picking inside the top 10, you're a bad football team, right? Those teams shouldn't draft a running back there, but we're not one of those teams. All right, people, we are a team that just got done being in the Super Bowl. We're a team that already has an explosive offense, and if you can add another